Hey guys, so today I'm doing something a little bit different. We're actually live streaming to Facebook whilst recording the interview. So for those of you who are connected with me, you'll be seeing this live, and for those listening on the podcast, assuming you'll be hearing me a little bit later. Anyways, on the show today, I've got Taylor Welch from Traffic and Funnels. We'll be talking about how he changed his business model to go from 0 to 7 figures in 8 months, how to make $1 million by making yourself less available, and a whole lot more. I'm actually really looking forward to this interview. Anyways, Taylor, how are you, my man? Let's switch the interview.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up, brother? Dude,
living the dream.
Kind of butched up that intro a little bit. So could you actually just share with us what you do yourself, so people meeting you for the first time?
Well, I write copy. I consult with clients on how to build their business models who deal with a lot of infrastructure marketing issues, because everybody can teach marketing today, but it's usually about the latest fad or the latest software. So we help people build really, really effective acquisition funnels and paid traffic. So primarily people who work with clients, if you're a client-based business, helping you really get your business to a place where you're not hunting for clients, they're kind of coming to you through paid traffic, things like that. And that's what we do. Okay,
so how do you get into that? What is it? Because I understand you mostly deal with high-ticket clients. That's, from an outsider's perspective, you've kind of come into the marketing world and just done everything right, whereas most people seem to stumble 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times before they even work out what they're doing. So what is it that made you different?
Yeah, that's like hilarious to me, because we've made so many mistakes, dude.
Okay.
We're totally not the overnight success. Like Chris is my business partner. He's out in Charlotte. I'm in Nashville. And we've both been doing business for a while. I mean, Chris has been behind the scenes as a freelancer probably like going on 8 or 9 years at this point. I've been in the game a little bit newer, probably 2.5, 3 years. And we've made a lot of mistakes. I mean, the thing with us is like, we learned quickly. We kind of front-loaded our mistakes. So we made almost every mistake you can in like the first month and a half, but then learned from it and then kind of found out what worked. I think we already had a little bit of expertise with Facebook and Infusionsoft and some of this stuff. So we had made our mistakes behind the scenes. But yeah, people sometimes are like, where did you guys come from? It's like, actually, we've been here for a while, but you just didn't know who we were. So, yeah. Okay,
so what do I need to elaborate on that? So, where did you start? I understand you're more from the corporate world originally.
Yes, I worked in real estate. Well, I'll start back. I worked at a church, and then I worked in real estate. And my wife is a hairstylist, and we lived in Memphis at the time, like when I was just getting into business. And dude, I mean, I had like probably the roughest beginning of anyone that I can think of. Was telling a buddy the other day, how it's just like, it's amazing like how many people like probably would have quit, and I just couldn't afford to quit. I had already like put so much time and money. So I bought one of my first courses by John Carlton, because I wanted to get out of corporate world and I wanted to help my wife grow her business. You know who John Carlton is, right?
Yeah, John.
Yeah, the most ripped off copywriter in the world. So it was a book. It was I got a book called The Entrepreneur's Guide to Getting Your Shit Together, and I read that. I was at the beach. I remember like it was literally like yesterday. And I was just like, dude, how can you make money by like, protecting government material? Because that's what I thought copywriting was, like protecting songs and stuff, like the U.S. government, like copywriting. I was a total newbie, dude. I was like, what is copywriting? Read through that book, read it again, bought his Kick-Ass Marketing Secrets of a Marketing Rebel, went through that, and dude, I just started like going down the rabbit hole. Started sending out direct mail for my wife's business to get her clients. The first couple ones didn't work, but then she started getting clients from it. That was like the moment of like, oh my gosh, this actually works. And then from there, I went into like a probably 14-month like depression of not being able to get anything else to work. So I tried affiliate marketing. That didn't work. I actually got like banned from Facebook, and like banned my Infusionsoft account almost got taken away from me.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, all the mistakes that new people make. I just made them really fast and like right on top of another. Ended up getting my first copywriting client, and it bombed, totally bombs. Like, I know before that I got my first copywriting client. He didn't even use the material. He was like, he didn't want to tell me that it wasn't good enough, but it wasn't good enough for him to use it. And then I got my second copywriting client and sent it out to like 50,000 people, and it got like 2 sales or something stupid like that. Ooh. Awful. I remember putting a post in one of the copywriting groups on Facebook looking for clients, and I like spent hours writing this like cool fancy post trying to get clients, like, if you need help on your sales letter, blah 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 blah, da da da, reach out to me. Like just a beginner guy, and I got like, it went viral, got like 40 comments on it, but in the worst way possible. It was like, you should hire a copywriter to write your pitch, man. You can't even write copywriting for yourself. Like, dude, I came home for dinner and my wife was like, what's wrong? And I was just like, I hate business. Like, this is the worst industry possible. I'm going to quit. And long story short, I didn't quit. I just kept getting better, kept copying out ads by hand every single morning at 5:30 in the morning at Starbucks, and I'd go to work, and then I'd get off work, go to the gym, and then come home and work on my business at night. And eventually started getting a little bit of small wins here and there, and the hockey stick growth. Like, I made all those mistakes, and then from there, my growth happened really, really quite quickly. And I was able to quit my job and do some freelance work, and then met Chris, and we started an agency, Traffic and Funnels. We were doing some done-for-you clients, and then decided we didn't like doing done-for-you work anymore because we wanted to kind of be our own clients, started consulting, and here we are. It's been a really fast ramp-up over the past 8 or 9 months.
Okay, so how did you and Chris meet? What was because you seem to be very different yet very similar. What's the connection there?
We met on Facebook.
Of course.
In a mastermind, actually. Do you know Ryan Levesque?
Yes, I know Ryan Levesque.
Yeah, so I joined Ryan Levesque's mastermind, next level mastermind group, like right at the beginning. There were only like 300 people in there, and was posting some of the stuff I was doing with some of the funnels that I had built for clients, and had a couple retainer clients, and was just kind of posting what I was learning. And he was like, dude, these funnels are really cool. And then he looked up, and my wife knows, like, his wife's one of their mutual friends. Your audience probably doesn't care about this at all, but
that's right. Just keep it, man. Don't worry about that. It was just you and me.
I was like, dude, we got on the phone somehow. I was like, dude, we should partner up because you run paid traffic and I write copy and build funnels, and you can't have one without the other. And he was like, nah, dude, he's like, I don't think I want to do that. So then, like, I was like, whatever, screw you. And then 6 months later, he ended up coming around, and we ended up partnering up. So
very
it's just
cool.
funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on from there, so you started doing this agency, you're doing done-for-you work. Tell me a little bit about the growth of that, and I guess why the change. So you sound like you're doing quite well with the agency.
Well, yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you want, I think. Like, for us, we came from the done-for-you work, and we had been doing that for a while, especially Chris. And you can make a considerable amount of money doing done-for-you. At the time we stopped, I think the last funnel we did was like 45 grand or something, with a percentage on it. Yeah. And so obviously the money's really good, but at the end of the day, like, there's a long tail on it. There's a lot of work involved. It's not that there's not work involved in anything, but it's just like, we hired a coach in February, and he was like, if you want to scale to, like, $12, $15, $20 million, you're not going to be able to do done for you on the agency side. And we were like, okay. And we just took his word for it.
Okay.
And the next month, or the month, like the same month we stopped doing done for you, like our income jumped up from like 50 grand to like 125 grand.
Shit. That is,
Because we had the time, like we didn't run out of bandwidth as fast.
that's insane.
That's all it came down to. Yeah. It's like, you're doing done for you, like you have to build a big team to scale.
Yeah.
And there are done for you agencies and Facebook traffic agencies, and those guys can do 100, 300, 500 grand a month, but they have this massive team. Dude, up until like 2 months ago, it was me and Chris. That's it. Doing a couple hundred grand a month. So it's like we're extremely lean. And now I think we have 4 employees. But still 4 employees for, like this month, like, yeah, it's stupid. I mean, it's just a different model. There's much more margin for error and just margin for everything in a consultative rather than a done for you type of model.
So how does that model work? You said how does acquisition work for you guys getting clients, when you're doing funnel work, and now how does it look now that you've switched your model?
Well, now we just use a funnel, and we teach people. We're pretty targeted on like who we want to work with. So right now our main platform, main offer is like helping people who they know how to kind of get clients through referral and stuff, but they're just really inconsistent. So they're kind of up and down. Maybe one month they'll have 4, 5, 6 new clients, and the next month they'll have 1 or 2. It's the typical struggle of the solopreneur. It's really hard to work on marketing all the time because you get a couple clients and then you have to spend time fulfilling, and then you can't spend time marketing.
Marketing mode,
and so
fulfillment mode, marketing mode, fulfillment mode.
Yeah, exactly. It's this massive roller coaster over and over. And so we kind of work with them to build, really it comes down to like one really simple filtration funnel that can pull people in, filter through people who are serious and not serious. And we do that with a pretty specific type of content in that funnel. And then the people who are serious will make it through. And then at the end of the day, you've got people on your calendar that are kind of cherry picked, top of kind of cream of the crop to talk to. And then you just enroll whoever you need for that month.
So I'm assuming some sort of like 2-step consultants type funnel where you just pre-qualify people before you speak to them, and then pick out who you actually want to speak to in that way. Is that what you're...
It's just like that. But it's even a little bit more. It's like it's a webinar, so it's not like the VSL. So it's a little bit more time involved for someone like to sit there and have to watch an hour-long presentation to qualify themselves. The more time someone spends with you, like the more qualified they are usually to get on the phone. I'm
assuming for that you're usually using quite high ticket clients on their end as well. So what is that? What kind of what price points are your clients typically selling their services for?
$3,000 to $15,000 on the front ends.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah. $15K, like we only have one client selling at that level. Most of them are, $3 to $7K.
Okay. And for yourselves, what does it cost for someone to come on board with you when you were doing the purely funnel work, and now that you've switched to the consulting model?
Well, the funnel work is like real high ticket. That if we were to do like a funnel work now, like there would have to be at least $250,000 in it for us. Okay. So there'd probably be like a good, probably 6-figure upfront fee, then plus the percentage of whatever revenue. We'd have to see the likeliness of that turning into at least $250,000 probably within the next three or 4 months. So that takes our target market like way down. We're not really doing funnel work right now. We have a couple different products. We're actually in the middle of a launch right now, basically targeted towards people at the kind of more beginner, to where they don't really have their product offering nailed down. They haven't worked with that many clients, and they just kind of want to get their feet up underneath them and kind of get their consistency. So that'll probably be like the $2K range. And then our main core offering is right now $7,500, subject to change anytime we wanted to. And then we have like a mastermind on the back end, we're more involved. We do a little bit more. That's higher. It's like 40 grand or something like that.
That's cool. And so, as an entrepreneur or whatever, did you learn a lot of these skills from your parents, or what was your childhood like? What is the most important lesson you learned from your parents, I guess? What I'm getting at.
Well, yeah, my dad is, neither one of my parents are entrepreneurs. My dad is, I don't know if you've heard of Allstate. It's like a big insurance company. And
Yeah, I'm familiar.
yeah, he's like one of the VPs at Allstate. So growing up, my dad kind of took me with him to like John Maxwell conferences and leadership conferences, things like that. So I've always been like in the world of like self-development. But entrepreneurially, like my wife was an entrepreneur. She was like the first entrepreneur I really knew. I just didn't really understand it. Like I didn't, like 5 years ago, if you were like, ask me what an entrepreneur is, I have no idea. Like I just really didn't pay attention to any of that. I always wanted to work at a church and then maybe work at Allstate or something like that at a company. And so my journey, like really, it's happened quite quickly, but I just have read so many books, have pounded all through the courses and things like that. I've probably spent at least 150 grand in the past 2 years on education and like mastermind coaching. I remember my first coach, I hired him. His name was, I don't know if you've heard of Seth Ellsworth.
The name rings a bell. I think we're connected. Yeah, okay.
Dude's a baller. He's like 8 foot tall. He's crazy.
Jesus.
I don't think he's 8 foot. He's like 6 something. But dude, I was a month out of quitting my job. I was making like barely enough to survive, like $2,200 a month off of one retainer client. And he was like coaching his $6,000 and I can split it up into 3 payments. And I just was like, done. I have an Amex. And my limit is like $3,000, but I can make the first payment, I just had this like balls to the wall, like I would rather figure out how to pay this off than to spend like the next 10 years of my life like working corporate and watching my wife be able to wake up when she wants and like live the dream of the entrepreneur, And so like I've just been that way, like if you ask Chris, like Chris's biggest regret is like not investing more. And my biggest regret is probably investing too quickly, because I've probably wasted at least 40, 50 grand on things that I couldn't get to work, or like it wasn't the right time, or like but yeah, I mean, I
just mentally ready for that stage.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. But my first coach, Seth, was awesome. He was a great investment, and that launched me into, within about 90 days of quitting my job, I was bringing in 30, 40K a month by myself as a freelancer.
Was this doing copywriting, or was this funnel work?
Yeah, copywriting and funnels.
Nice.
Both.
Very nice.
So I found a gap in the market, which is like everyone can write copy and everyone can kind of build funnels, but I was like, dude, nobody's like writing funnels specifically for Infusionsoft. So I dubbed myself the Infusionsoft copywriter and started just picking up Infusionsoft people, building funnels for them,
nice.
And
that's pre-qualified there by itself there, because everyone who's on Infusionsoft is already spending a fair amount on their software services.
Exactly. Genius.
Smart boy.
Dude.
Cool, man. Okay, so you kind of went there. You went from, in that period of actually a year, you went from $0 to $1 million, or how did those numbers play out?
Well, no. My first year, I didn't do $1 million. I only did like 140 something. Yeah. My goal was to do 6 figures.
Okay.
My first year. And I did that. I got it up to about 140. And then this year, which is when we really launched like traffic and funnels on the consulting side, we're at about 930K.
All right, cool.
And it's September, so.
Cool. And what's that made out of? You said you still do some funnel work if they pay you on the high end, and you mostly do consulting work. So that's just teaching them what you do basically and training. What does that consist of?
That's just from the consulting work. Okay. We took our last funnel client in February, and so we're we're done with that unless you have $250,000 to give us. But yeah, that's just the consulting. It's just like working with clients to help them build, everything that we had to learn the hard way about getting clients, and not just getting clients, because everyone out there is like, hey, watch this webinar, I'll teach you how to get clients. But really, at the baseline, like our value prop is like control. How to control the amount of work that you have to do for your clients, how to control your acquisition systems, how to control your business model so that you can really compound your return on investment with your time. So we work with clients kind of on a spectrum of things. It's not all just getting clients. Okay. Some people can get clients, but they're only charging $2,000, and if they just change a little bit of the positioning on how they sell it, they could charge it for $8,000.
Okay, so
it's kind of like helping people get to the level.
Specifically, is that like one-on-one?
Go ahead.
Is that one-on-one kind of conversations with them, or you do like group Skype chats, or you have part pre-recorded trainings? How does that play out?
All of the above, man.
All above. Okay.
All of the above. Group. One-on-one if someone needs it. Some training. Some masterminds. Mm-hmm. We don't really even we focus on ROI. So some people need a personal conversation to really get an ROI, and some people don't, So 70% of our clients ROI within the first 30 to 60 days.
Excellent. And I guess moving on from there, what is your own funnel? Are you still basically doing the same thing for yourself, just Facebook ads, webinar, pre-qualify, get them on his client that way?
Yeah, well, up until now, it's been like the dumbest funnel you've ever seen. Like, just like not fancy at all. One of the hooks like we've built our business around is like this one simple funnel, which now like everybody else is trying to use too. But like really the fundamentals of your business are more important than anything else. If fundamentally like your messaging is lined up with your market and you can deliver on your promises, then you don't need a lot of fancy tech or next level systems or funnels to run $1 million business. And so we wanted to prove that. And actually, our funnel is like basic. You just come you see a landing page, you like it or you don't. And then if you like it, you register, and it's just like a funnel. And we don't even give you a replay. And then you can book a call with us. We send you some case studies, things like that. And we tell, about 57% of the people who apply, we actually turn them down. Okay. So we're very clear on like, if you're not a good fit, we're not going to sell you anything. And there's a lot of authenticity in that. Moving forward, there are some things we're doing to kind of like spruce up our funnels, which we can talk about that. Like if you want to kind of know what we're doing.
Love to know what's good.
But up until now, dude, it's been like, dude, anybody could build this funnel. Like you could just like rip the whole thing off in like probably 3 hours. It's just not complicated,
Dumb and easy. Love it. Let's go. Actually, got Nick Gardner here. Just mentioned realest guy in the game.
Nick. Dude, I am the realest guy in the game. Actually, I'll tell you that right now.
Another thing.
Actually, I don't know if that's true, but
before Adil gets pissed off me, he told me to tell you this. Hey. Adil's told me to just say on the live stream for you, tell Taylor, Adil says hey.
Oh my gosh. Dude, that guy is the coolest guy I've ever met.
For sure, man. For sure.
He needs to come to Nashville. I'm gonna take him to eat some good food.
He needs to get a passport sorted
some
first.
Veggies.
He needs to get off the watch list first.
He needs to figure that out. Oh my gosh. What is he doing?
I don't know, man. He's a brown guy. He's a brown guy living in the UK, wants to travel. What do you think?
Dude, it's because of his cats. They don't trust brown guys with cats.
That must be it. That's pre-qualified right there. So if you're a brown guy, you're alright. You're okay. If you're a brown guy with cats, no. CI is locking it down.
Dude.
Anyways, man.
Red flag, man.
That's it.
Red flag.
Alright, so you're talking about updating your funnels now. What is that about? Why Why are we going fancy?
Well, what?
Why are we
What'd you
going?
say?
Are we going fancy, or what's the difference now? Why are you changing it?
Well, we are a couple reasons. One, we're rolling out different products. So we've only had one product at this point, and it's very easy to just shove everyone through the same process. At this point, launching new products requires us to have a better handle on like how people are getting into our funnels and like the segmentation involved there, and like actually identifying where people are and what they need. So there's some segmentation we're adding into the mix with this new product launch. Without telling you everything, I can tell you we're basically going to be using 4 different funnels kind of put into one, and based on a person's behavior, there's going to be retargeting involved in that. There's going to be different videos and different training content that they get. So it's kind of like Ask Method on steroids. I don't know if you saw the recent Ask Method launch, where there's like segmentation based on a person's like bucket, but we're actually overlaying segmentation based upon a person's behavior as well. So think like Frank Kern plus Ryan Levesque plus Jeff Walker kind of mixed into one funnel. So it's crazy. Like there's so much work involved, like just even mapping it out and fulfilling. But we kind of want to get to a place where it's like, this sounds bad, but we kind of want to get to a place where it's like we can't just keep getting ripped off, because we have to change our ads like every 60 to 90 days, because like we'll see like literally like exact replicas of our ads for other coaches, and it's like, what the heck? Like I didn't even know people did this anymore. And so we're innovating, just kind of trying to create a process that can like people can't just copy, and at the same time make it more effective.
I've had people knock off my complete like LinkedIn profiles word for word. I'll go into LinkedIn. I was like, what the fuck? What the hell?
Isn't it? It's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating.
I think it's one of the things, man.
But whatever. I mean, I guess you can take it as a compliment.
Take it as a compliment, but it still is frustrating thing. Like, why can't you just be original? It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, dude. Exactly.
Dude, so.
But. Dude, it's cool. Like we're with the retargeting stuff. You know, Chris is an ad genius with retargeting, and so we're starting to rope in like a lot of different areas where we're just scooping up people. Like if someone doesn't resonate with the landing page, then maybe it could be 2 things. It could be they're not interested in the topic, or it could just be that the medium doesn't suit them. And so the first step is retargeting them with a different medium. And you know, we're getting like $2 leads from just swapping out the medium and showing them a different ad, which is really, quite effective.
Okay, that's cool.
Does that make sense?
You say medium as in with video, text, or the actual offer. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like a webinar versus a report versus a checklist versus an audio podcast.
So the type of offer,
we have all of this.
The type of offer being presented.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the message is the same, but medium's different.
Yeah, so here's a checklist, here's a webinar. They might like the webinar better than the checklist, etc.
Totally.
Cool, man.
Yep.
What book has had the most impact on your life, man?
What book?
What book?
Is that what you said?
Yeah, what book has had the most influence over you in your life?
It depends on what topic. Are we talking like entrepreneurship? Are we talking what are we talking about?
Let's go for what do you think? So entrepreneurship, life in general, man. Let's go for both.
Dude, I'm making you work for this interview, bro. Just keeping you sharp.
Damn straight. Yeah, it's because you're too cool with the hair and the the jacket and shit. It's what it is.
I know, man.
Too cash.
Everybody wants to be like me. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, probably my favorite book. I read it again and again and again. Let's talk like I'll give you two of my favorite books. I'll give you 3 of my favorite books. Okay. One is like personal development. One is like business. One is entrepreneurship. Right. I have it on my desk right now. I've read it probably 12 times, and this is like one of my favorite books. Well, it's actually in my backpack. Okay. There you go. All right. It's a Slight Edge. You heard of this?
Yes, I have. That's awesome.
It's my favorite book.
Cool.
So this is like Jeff Olson. They call him the $1 Million Man, and he just talks about the process of building great businesses. I think his last business it's like a 3-year-old company. They're $1 billion a year company now. So the dude knows what he's doing.
That's cool.
Really, really good. Business wise, have you heard of 57? I think it's 57 Secrets. It's Tim
Secrets.
McCarthy.
I haven't. I'm gonna look this up. 57 Secrets, Tim McCarthy.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, let me see.
Tim Winton. 57 Secrets, Tim Winton. Timothy Good? Tim Winton.
The System Club letters. 57 big ideas to transform your business.
That's cool.
Ken McCarthy.
Yeah. Tim McCarthy. Awesome. He's old school, one of the first people on the internet, yeah?
Yeah. He invented internet marketing. And I heard from that book by a guy named Ben Settle.
Nice.
Yeah, and Ben Settle's like, this is my favorite book. I read it I have it in the bathroom every time I go to the bathroom. I read it, and I was like, dude, if he reads it in the bathroom, I need to get this book. So I got it, and it's great, dude. I have it marked up. I read it every couple months. Dude, from an entrepreneur standpoint, I just read one of the best biographies I've ever read in my life called Titan. It's about John Rockefeller. It's really long. It'll take you probably 2 or 3 months to go through, but it's a fascinating look at just how things grow and how Rockefeller just pioneered probably the biggest company the world has seen. And I think studying biographies and books like that helps you kind of dial into the way entrepreneurs think, and it's been a great book.
That's cool. As an individual, who has...
Oh, I can see you now.
You can see me. I put my camera on for Skype, but I've actually got my camera on the live stream as well. So I figured you probably need some visual cue as
Nice.
well, man. You can't actually see me, so I'm actually really expressive around
Yeah,
this whole call. You're like, what is he doing? What's he doing? Anyways, as an individual, man,
Yeah, I can see you.
who is it that has had the most impact in your life, whether it's professionally or personally?
Dude, that's a great question. So I've learned from a lot of different people. Obviously, Seth, who was my first coach, probably had one of the most pivotal impacts on my life in business, just because he helped me get over the initial hump, to where I actually felt like I belonged to this weird world of entrepreneurs. Obviously, my dad, guys like Ryan Lebeck, Kevin Rogers. I don't know if you know Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin.
Kevin's actually probably been one of the most influential guys in the game for me. I remember when I first got started, I joined his group. I sent him some copy to look over, and he was so kind, but he was he's like, yeah, you have a lot of potential. Here's what you need to work on. And since then, we've become friends, and I really look up to him, and just the guys in the game right now that are really doing great things.
It's cool, man.
Yeah.
And if you had to go back in time to speak to your 20-year-old self, what advice would you give them based on what you know now? And yeah.
Don't try affiliate marketing when you're just starting out. That's what I would have done different. I don't know if you've ever heard of this company called Mobe, but that was my first, I tried to sell that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know, dude.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
It's the affiliate version of MLM is what I look at it as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's why that's why when people are even at the beginning when you're you just came out of nowhere and you haven't made all the mistakes. Oh, I made the mistakes. I definitely made the mistakes, but we did them behind the scenes, and that was years ago, and but that was my first go at marketing, and
It's cool.
if I had to do it again, it's develop a skill set and sell your expertise and value, not selling, product license rights for something else.
That's cool, man. Well, I guess my final question to you is, what question should I ask that I don't yet have the knowledge to ask you?
What is my favorite drink from Starbucks?
Go on. What is it?
Starbucks double shot. 6 shots of espresso. I'm gonna have 2 of them today.
Is that even legal?
Oh, it's legal, dude.
Oh shit,
It's
dude,
legal.
dude. Okay, you've got to tell the audience what are you getting today, because this got me excited.
Oh, I'm getting a Tesla.
Tesla.
It came in today. Model S.
That is exciting, man.
I was telling him before the interview, like, I haven't slept that much because, like, last night it was like Christmas Eve, and like I just couldn't go to sleep. I had to like take melatonin to go to sleep. So I'm going to pick it up in like 5 hours. So
Not like you're counting or anything. It's just
pumped, dude.
5 hours, 15 minutes, 34 seconds.
Yeah. I'm definitely counting, dude. I told her, I was like, I'll be there early. I'm gonna bring you coffee. Can't wait, dude.
Love it. All right, man. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on, and sure we should do this again soon. Actually, dude, where can people learn more about you, and if there's anything they can go download or just devour information about you, where should they visit or connect?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Our main website is like the hub of everything. So you go to trafficandfunnels.com, and you'll see some content we have. You can actually see our main dumb, simple funnel. You can register right there on the website. And all the emails you get, if your audience wants to, ask a question or something, you just hit reply. All those come to me.
Awesome, brother. Well, it's been fun, and I'll speak to you soon, I'm sure.
All right, man.
All right, brother.
See you.
Catch you.